We often talk about racial justice as work, something that is hard and labor-intensive. And yes, it is that. The pursuit of racial justice, of living out the radical faith claim of the worth and dignity of every person, is work. But today I want to testify to another fact. Racial justice is healing. Racial justice heals. This is my gospel. This is my good news for you this morning. I am a more integrated and whole person because of my commitment to racial justice and the worth and dignity of every person. We all understand that our racialized world is a brutalizing construct. It is a corrosive force that categorizes the human body into hierarchies of humanity. Normal bodies, i.e., white bodies, and less than bodies, black and brown bodies. And then it hammers that falsehood deep into our psyches, our bodies and beings through school systems, through healthcare systems, economic structures, personal interactions, and public discourse, the lot. I used to sit in shame of all of that as a person of faith, as a white person, paralyzed by how big this problem is and how puny and ineffectual I am. I would get super quiet or look for escape routes when issues of race were discussed. I live in a very white city in the very white state of Minnesota, and I could easily avoid or ignore what was going on for my black and brown neighbors, and I did. National Authority on Trauma and Race, Resmaa Menakem, calls this response dirty pain. Dirty pain. Dirty pain is when we ignore our pain, deflect it, or project our pain onto others. My responses were the typical white liberals' trauma response to the brutalizing systems of race and racism. To freeze, to flee, to get small, to ignore. Some others are get big, to pontificate, to jump to statistics in the face of lived experience, to run away in guilt and shame. Clean pain, on the other hand, is the only way to heal trauma. Clean pain. And it is the healing work all of us are called to undertake no matter where we land in this racialized world, black, brown, white, liberal, conservative, cop, civilian. Menakem says, healing trauma involves recognizing, accepting, and moving through pain, clean pain. It often means facing what we don't want to face, what you have been reflexively avoiding or fleeing. Now, certainly, I am not experiencing the same hardships and crushing effects of racism as my black and brown friends and neighbors. This is a fact. But I cannot take my place in the work and healing process of racial justice if I don't own my own trauma responses to race and racism. Healing is not a binary proposition. We are not broken, then fixed. Healing is examining the wounds, cleaning the wounds, accepting the discomfort when tending to them, breathing deep and calming the body as the balm is applied, bandaging, time, being in community, then re-examining, learning, reassessing, taking stock of where there is a lot of tenderness still and where we are stronger. This is the healing work of racial justice. I've lived a lot of my life in this strange tension between duck and cover and white-knuckled perseverance. The healing balm of racial justice has led to a different way of being, and I am grateful, and that is what I'm testifying to you today. With my growing understanding of race and racism, of where I'm situated in this framework and how and where to show up, I am working on creating a culture of courage within myself, within my circles of influence, and in collective action. Courage to learn, courage in self-examination, courage to listen, courage to take my place, courage to love myself and others, courage to make mistakes, many mistakes that are very embarrassing, courage to be uncomfortable, courage to move forward even when I'm afraid. And my friends, that is the definition of courage. The ability to take on tasks, to confront hardships, to move with resolve even when you are afraid. That's courage. This is what this church is offering. This is what this incredible group of people are offering you. We are offering work and we are offering healing. Healing. We want to bring about a culture of courage, a phrase I heard last Tuesday at the George W. Bush Library at a panel discussion of the continuing struggle for civil rights in Dallas and beyond. The panelists made a call to all of us. A call for a culture of courage. Wade in the water is learning, of developing ways of staying present, of beauty, of music, of conversation, of getting to know one another as whole and holy human beings, food for the body and food for the soul. It is developing a culture of courage. This is the healing work of Wade in the water. And your first opportunity of Wade in the water is to walk through those doors after this service and sit yourself down in those chairs for that front porch conversation. There will be opportunities to join in circles of love and courage held by the racial equity team in March, and they have a table right off to the side here, and we encourage you to participate. And later in the year, on April 23rd, you will be invited to attend a congregation-wide event of music, of food, small group conversation, and speakers as we wade into the water of racial justice and healing. This is what it is to heal. This is what it is to live the gospel of racial justice, worth, and dignity. May it be so. Amen.